Welcome to my world. Welcome to my world. Give me a thumbs up just for the intro.
Previously on Bigg Vic TV.
My man Mel setting up his Keep Trucking. He doing his first Amazon run tonight.
Yeah. Nervous as hell.
You say you nervous?
Yeah, man.
Trying to get him right, get him set up right so he can get it rocking.
All day.
Getting the ELD right so he can be in compliance tonight. Told him he don't need to be riding dirty.
No, never.
What's up, y'all? It's your man Bigg Vic. We are back in the building with another video. And today I'm bringing to y'all live and direct my homie Mel over there at Palmetto Partners. Brand new carrier. Mel just really got started. As y'all can see on another previous episode, we brought Mel. I was helping Mel get his ELD situation set up so that he can go out and do his first Amazon run. Since then, he's ran a few loads for Amazon, but something really excited Mel. So he had got early access, right? So we got to talk about this because it's a learning experience. And me and Mel were just chopping it up. And as we were having the conversation, I'm like, yo, this would be great content for people that are brand new, getting started as new carriers, you know, with doing Amazon Relay. And Mel got something that most people look for when they get started with Amazon after they complete a few loads. And that thing is called early access. But when you get early access, you really, you know, you can get trigger happy. So I'm gonna turn it over to Mel. We're just gonna I need him to quarterback this thing, you know. I need him to quarterback kind of how this played out for him. So Mel, you got early access, right? And
yeah, man.
What tell us what happened after you got early access? Go ahead. I just got to turn it over to you, man. What happened? Talk to the people, man.
Man, listen, you know, just like you said, man, you get new to this thing, you getting early access, you seeing all the money, you seeing the dollar signs, and you like, yo, I'm about to hit the ground running, I'm about to go get all the money. And so, you know, I'm new to Charlotte, you know what I'm saying, North Carolina, and you know, I know certain cities that surround, you know, my area or whatever. And so I'm getting a geography lesson as well, you know what I'm saying? So this is not just a Amazon Relay lesson, man. I'm learning geography.
Okay.
So North Carolina has a city called Mooresville, which sits probably about 30 to 45 minutes north of Charlotte.
Okay.
But I recently discovered another city called Morrisville, and you see the hand because is a totally different region.
Okay.
And man, I mean, I'm seeing these loads pop up. I'm like, yo, okay, these loads are not paying me exactly what I want, but I'm thinking geography wise, I'm like, yo, this is right here. Like I can run these loads and make this $1.80, $1.90, you know, a mile or whatever, and just go get these and make it work. So I go out the gate and I book like 6 of them right off the bat. And I'm like, oh, I can't do this because I'm looking at the time.
Right. So how
I'm looking.
Right. So how was some of them was at nighttime and some of them was
in the
afternoon,
daytime.
Afternoon, early afternoon loads.
Right. Okay. So I had a couple of 315s, you know, and I'm like 315 traveling from Columbia to Mooresville. Man, we're gonna knock these out.
That's
boom,
easy.
Boom.
Right.
So I got the evening leg coming, like, oh, we're gonna get money. You know what I'm saying? And so
and you had a driver. You got a driver as well. So y'all was gonna kind of
I'm like, yo, we about to
bounce
double
back
this up.
Right.
Yeah, every day. Like, let's go.
Right.
And so I'm halfway through and I'm like, something ain't sounding right, man. I'm looking. And then I start looking at the miles, and it's like 240 miles. I'm like, that can't be, because Mooresville's right up the street. Like, I can get there tonight. Like, that's easy. And so I'm sitting there. I called the homie Bigg Vic, and I say, yo, I had to cancel 2 loads, man. I had to cancel 2 loads because shit, I got loads bumping up to some earlier loads that I'm
Right,
running. That's gonna just totally throw me off
right.
schedule. And so this whole early access and all this 100% performance is out the window. Like I am done. We're getting ready to fail like bad.
Oh my
So
God.
yeah,
First
man.
week of
So
early
I
access. First week of
first
early
week,
access.
man. First
It's
week.
about to be
So
over. It's about to be over already.
it's over. It's
Six
done.
weeks.
It's
Six
6
weeks.
weeks. Six
Rejections
weeks, man.
automatically after the first round of
All day.
lows. So what happened was, so Mel calls me. He's like, yo, I booked these loads. I'm already, I already did the numbers. It's like about 3,500 next week. We about to run the numbers up. I'm like, okay.
Right.
He's like Mooresville. He's like, okay, so starting at 315, then once we run over there, we come back. I'm not gonna make it. The times are not working out because it's 240 miles. So he got hit Mooresville and Mooresville kind of confused, and
Right.
he had to reject 2 of those loads in order to make it work. So, but I told Mel, I said, Mel, this is what you should have did. You should have called me first before you cancel those loads. So I told him to call
Right.
the RC department. I said, call the RC department. He called them up and told them, hey, I made a mistake. I canceled some loads that I booked. Can I get those loads back? What the RC guy told you.
So after I call them and I request a call back, they was able to take the load ID and able to pull them up, saw that I rejected them, and they was able to retrieve those and put those back on my load board. So that saved me from having to be on the bad list
Right,
for rejecting loads and not having 100% for my acceptance score.
right.
So that saved me in that department.
Yes.
But now I'm back in the
We
original
have
issue.
another dilemma. We back at the
How
original
the
dilemma.
hell?
Can
Yes.
we
How am
fix
I about
this?
to run these loads?
So
Right.
I ended up having to run. We worked it out to where I was able to run a couple of those loads for Mel so that he would not have to mess up his performance score because,
Right.
well, the acceptance score and the performance, because he would have been late trying to take those loads, and really he basically overbooked himself and not
Right.
realizing how far those loads were from each other as far as going and then coming back and trying to make it for the nighttime load. Even if he was driving or his other driver was driving, it still wouldn't have made the time wouldn't have made sense, because a lot of times he's thinking once he goes to get the truck loaded at 315, 315 is when it's starting to get loaded, like when you get there. No. They have like an hour window to load that truck, which means if you had another schedule for Amazon, that schedule is about to get thrown off because they're not going to load the truck at 315. So if you have a
Right.
10:45 appointment that time at night, plus the loads were much further away than he anticipated when he originally booked these loads. So as a brand new carrier, and this is what happens to a lot of new people, they get early access. They hit the load board like, yo, we about to run the numbers up. They hit the book button. The load belongs to you. And now your
Man.
schedule gets thrown off because you're like, I can knock this out, run that load. We're going to make all of this money. But number one, if you're not on time, that's going to mess up your score. Number two, if you have to reject the loads, that's going to mess up your score. And
Right.
what people don't know is when they do book loads and they cancel the load, because people have been known to book a load, see that another load comes out that's paying more than the load that they booked, so they'll cancel that load and try to go book the other load that's paying more money. Yes, you just made more money, but you also lost money because now you don't have early access because
Correct.
you rejected a load. And
Correct.
especially if that load is rejected less than 6 hours prior to your time starting, it's going to affect you even harder. So basically, Mel almost went from A100 to probably the very next day or day after, score just
Amazon
plummeted,
dropout,
just
man.
dropping. just dropping.
Amazon dropout.
And what's so crazy, Mel was like, man, there's no possible way I'm gonna be able to do this. I can't do it. I'm gonna have to reject the loads. I can't,
Right.
or I'm gonna be late. Like it's like I'm damned if I do, I'm damned if I don't. I was like, yo, Mel, you really just went crazy with that trigger finger over there. Like he just saw the loads and was like, brow, brow, brow. Yeah, my man, he gonna run that one at 3:15. We coming back. We gonna knock this one out at
Right.
10:45. Yo,
Right.
the whole time
Nah.
it don't work. It didn't work like that. It didn't
Nah.
work. Now, if it was short runs, then yes, you can do those. But we're talking about 230, almost 240 miles a trip. And Mel booked. How many of those you booked? How many?
Ended up booking a total of 9. And so,
9
yeah,
loads.
man.
Did y'all hear this? 9 loads.
9 loads, man. It's a long week. It's a long week.
Very long. And you still got to do them. I was able to take 2 off his plate to kind of smooth out some of that, but then still got to finish the rest of them out. Well, my question is, do you think you learned from that? You know, that must.
Most definitely. Most definitely. Hey, this will never, never happen again. You know what I'm saying?
Ooh.
So it's like, yeah, the biggest thing, man, you just got to really look at the miles. Like you think you know your city, you think you know your geography around you. The miles is going to tell you everything, and as a new carrier, that's something that I just totally overlooked. I just saw a name.
Mel looked at the money. He looked at how much the load was paying and where the city he thought it was at and where he was picking it up from. He's saying Columbia to basically Charlotte for $3.99. That's basically what his eyes saw. He said, yeah, I'm getting that one. I'm booking that one for that day, that one and that.
Right.
It was not as sweet as he thought it was.
No.
Now there was a time when loads, now every now and again, loads will come out like that. That's paying just like that. But this was not the case. This wasn't the case. And yeah, it was so crazy because you really have to pay attention, or you can basically be out the game before you get started. I like to say game because it's, people say, this is not a game. It's a business, but game is a figure of speech. So you pretty much can be out of the game, or your business will tremendously slow down. Now, imagine if Mel had not purchased this truck, but had rented a truck. Imagine if he had rented a truck and had to cancel those loads. This probably would have been his last week running freight and not having no income coming into a new business. He probably would have been out of business, probably taking that rental truck back. Like, man, I tried it. I messed up. Because you wouldn't have had no income really coming in unless, a dispatcher got you some work as a brand new carrier. With the new authority. So you probably would have had to resort to trying to find brokers that would let you run their freight versus Amazon. You probably could have got lucky with Post a Truck, but with an acceptance score that would have been, kind of bad. And on time would have been jammed up. So I'm not sure if they would have even pushed that many loads to your Post a Truck order. So thankfully, you still got 100. And,
man.
And you don't have to worry about that right now, man. You don't have to worry about it. Wow.
Yeah, man. Shouts out to Bigg Vic, man. Like, that right there really freed up my evenings, so we didn't have to worry about trying to double back on those Mondays and Tuesdays routes that we had. And so now for the rest of the week, we just kind of one a day, all the way up to Sunday. So, we'll get through it, man.
Yeah. Just so you gotta listen. This is I wanted to create this video because I know this would be a learning experience for brand new people, brand new carriers. I'm sure
Yeah.
they've probably went through the same thing, but didn't really know how to get up out of that situation, other than rejecting the loads. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So rejecting the loads is not a good thing if you want to have a successful, Amazon run, I should say. But I hope you guys was able, to get something out of this video. So you still will have a pretty, I feel like you still have a pretty decent week as far as
Oh yeah.
income wise with the loads that you did book
Yeah.
with Amazon. So let me ask you this. How do you like it so far since you've been running the Amazon freight, DC to DC, and then you've also experienced some post office routes. Yeah, as a matter of fact, I almost forgot about the post office route. That was enough. That was I almost forgot about the post office route. So you ran your post office route recently, first time,
Right.
fresh, your first one. I got to mention that first one.
Yeah.
So Mel gets to the facility in Charlotte. He gets to the facility in Charlotte. Remember, I told you guys, when you do get to these facilities, nobody is really going to be there to tell you how to do things.
No.
So if you don't know now when Mel was outside of, when he was working on the ELD, he and I had this conversation of everything he needed to do when he got up to Charlotte to run his postal load. I gave Mel all the juice. I gave him all the juice, and he got up there. You know, the plate that has to drop down onto the back of your box truck so that you can get everything off and onto the back of your truck.
Right.
So Mel gets his pallet. Tell him what happened. I'm not gonna even tell him. You tell him what happened, Mel. Tell him what happened.
So, it's kind of like this, man. I'm starting up, but I also got a driver with me. He's anxious. He's ready to get out there. First time in the facility, don't know how to work the plate that lays in the back of the truck the lift so you can, transport your freight on and off your truck. And so there's a gap there. And so my driver, he goes out and he's pushing a pallet. Yeah, pallet jack. He's pushing a pallet onto the truck. And luckily I was standing there, but the first wheel got stuck. And I'm like, what the fuck? So now we sitting here with the damn freight in the middle between the dock and the truck leaning. And I'm like, yo, this shit is getting ready to fall. Like, what the hell?
Oh my God.
Oh man. So I had to get under the first wheel of the pallet jack, man, and just lift that thing up with this pure shrimp.
Wow.
While he pulls it back out. And luckily, man, we was able to get it out of there.
Did another driver show y'all, or somebody from the logistics team come over there and do it?
Right. So I was able to track down a young lady in there that was working with Amazon. She came over and showed us how to work the whole lift. Got that done. And, from that point, it was smooth sailing, man.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, day one, man, almost had a tragic accident.
Wow. Wow.
I mean,
and
a lot
sometimes,
of rookie mistakes.
Yeah. So, and a lot of times, a lot of those pallets are not wrapped that strong. So what could have really happened was, once you went that first drop, when the pallet wheel got caught in between, that all those pallets could have tumbled over into the back of your box truck, and that would have been a further delay in running those, trying to run that load successful and be there on time. So you did get there how early? Like, you got there like what, 20 minutes?
Yeah.
40?
So we made it there on time, got there probably about 20 minutes ahead of schedule or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, man, a lot of little small mistakes, man. Checking in, getting the ID and all that. There's a lot of little things you gotta, brush up on. Your first time out is gonna be tough, but once you get the hang of it and try to get that permanent ID, save you a lot of time. So now it's no checking in with the guard shack, getting IDs, and they back there watching Netflix and not paying attention.
Exactly.
Up,
that's what they be doing. They really be like chilling, like, you trying to get in the gate. It's ridiculous. It can get ridiculous. So that's another reason why I stress to everybody: look, get your permanent badge, get that out the way first week. You don't even, as long as you got Amazon access, you can get your permanent badge way before you even get your first load with Amazon. Just let them know what facility you're gonna be picking up at, and that pretty much get you situated. But overall, how do you like it now? Because Mel's only done Amazon free. He hasn't ran anything outside of Amazon just yet. So so far, how do you like it though?
Oh, it's smooth, man. It's smooth. It's chill. Like once you really get the hang of it, you brush through those couple of little issues, and again, being mindful of what you're booking, how you booking it. Yeah, it's smooth sailing. I think it's really probably the most efficient way for any type of entrepreneur type personality to come out here. You want to get your box truck or get your trucking company off the ground. I think Amazon Relay is definitely one of the number one ways for new authorities to definitely get in the game and start making some money. So yeah, I definitely support it.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, hey, you guys heard it first. You heard it right here, Bigg Vic TV. I just wanted to give y'all just a bird's eye view of different things that different carriers go through. Somebody left a comment on something earlier on one of my on a post I put up, and they said something like, tell people, like the real, like we always make it look so easy on YouTube. Well, I know for one, I might make some of it look easy, but I also, if you watched my content, you would see that I talk about how many scans you might have to do. It's gonna be a lot. Sometimes there's a lot of pallets you'll have to unload. No more than 12 pallets, but a lot of the loose boxes. So I do talk about the difference between Amazon freight and also the difference between running freight for other brokers, where you don't have to touch any freight. So I feel like here's the thing. Some people want to be home every day. Some people don't mind being gone for a week or two, or a few days to get the bag and then come back and relax for a few days. So it just depends. Like I said, it all depends on the individual. But on Bigg Vic TV, I keep it all the way 1,000. Like I'm not gonna tell you like this is easy peasy, even though compared to a lot of other things, this would be considered like taking candy from a baby. You know what I'm saying? Yep. Compared to a lot of other things that are out there, once you do get your truck, yeah, you're gonna have things. You're gonna have issues, truck maintenance. Things may go wrong with the truck. That's part of business. That's part of doing business in the trucking industry. Everybody's had some type of something go wrong. Everything's not gonna always be perfect, but if you stay and keep your head down, guess what? You can hit six figures in this business, and that's something that Mel saw. Because actually, Mel was supposed to get started when I got started almost 9 months ago. Right. And Mel just really got his situation together, and he came on board. And now he's in. It's better late. It's better late than never.
Yeah, definitely, man.
Yeah, trust me, people are not coming on board to make peanuts. You know what I'm saying? People clearly can see this is a very, very, very lucrative industry. So just wanted to let y'all hear, well, the moral of this video is to make sure you have a solid mentor that you can reach out to when it's time to, because every time my phone ring, Mel be like, yo, I ain't even gonna call you. I ain't even ask you no more questions. Every time he call, yo, question. It's number one line. Be like, question. What's up? So yeah, but I'm gonna make sure everything is everything, and it's all good. It's all good. Each one teach one. So we about to be over and out, man. I appreciate y'all tapping into the channel. Make sure y'all hit that subscribe button. Make sure you hit that bell notification so that you'll be notified when I drop new content. And if y'all like these interview style videos with new carriers that I work with, make sure you let me know down below in the comments, and we'll keep them coming. So it's on me, Bigg Vic, man. Appreciate you coming on the live, Mel. We got
already, man.
All right.
Yep.
One.
Now before it's over, I don't wanna pack my things and be ready to let you go. to let you go, but maybe it's too late to figure it out, to make it through. Maybe